just thought I'd take a short break just to let you know about becoming a Breakout Bestie. So we've launched a brand new subscription service for the small businesses that need us in your pocket. So why do you need to become a Breakout Bestie? Well, it's just a monthly subscription that gives you access to us when you need us. There's a closed group where you can ask us any question you need. There's also an anonymous posting on, so if you've got clients in the same group, you can ask us anything and we'll get back to you. Sometimes that'll be a quick answer, other times it might be that we need a bit more of an in-depth chat. There'll also be posts and information on the latest trends, the latest strategies for social media, upcoming things from HMRC that you may have missed, just anything you need to make your life easier to run your business. You'll also have access to our client base and money off discounts and vouchers for various services we've got coming out. This is brand new, it's only just been launched, so have a look, go on our website under Besties and sign up soon. One of our issues when we're managing content and we're doing social media management for other people is the content creation and getting the content from people, which isn't always easy. And that's kind of where the cost comes from as well.
The content creator and whoever's doing the social media management, and sometimes they get assumed that they're the same thing. And people will sometimes try and do everything. And some people are good at being able to do that. But it is that balance of having the two heads, like having that longer plan, but then also the eye for detail.
Hi and welcome to Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. This podcast is specifically for business owners or wannabe business owners. Say you've got a side hustle, or you've got a passion for something and you think it'd be absolutely amazing, or you see people that do amazing things with their passions and what they enjoy doing. Well, you can do that. So please subscribe and we hope you enjoy listening to this episode. Hi and welcome to the latest episode of Breakout Business Rainbows and Unicorns podcast, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. So today it is Liam and I chatting.
Hello, everybody.
About the difference between the content creator and a social media manager. Because depending on what you look at, what you read, how much you look at on social media. So, for example, my algorithm shows me a lot of social media stuff and who does what, who's good at stuff, what works, shortcuts. We all love a shortcut.
Yeah.
Hi, ChatGPT does it all for you. But there is a definite difference between content creation and social media management. And I've kind of alluded to it and talked about it in other episodes where we've talked about social media management. And hands up, I'm not creative. That's not what I do. Nisha is amazing. She's got an eye for it, and has Liam. And Liam does long form, short form video. He's better on Canva than I am at designing stuff as well. But I'm good at the captions, the chat, the managing, the strategizing.
Yeah, that's the good.
Word. And pulling it all together. So we thought we'd just go through pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses, because I think it's really, really important that we all work together in terms of working on our strengths and weaknesses. And one of our issues when we're managing content and we're doing social media management for other people is the content creation and getting the content from people, which isn't always easy. And that's kind of where the cost comes from as well.
Yeah, I think, it's easy to ask somebody to help you with social media, and then you have that initial conversation and you talk about what we're actually going to post.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but some people just imagine that you're going to be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah.
And then
not
be
how
able
I've
to
heard it, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, be able to create something from nothing and then get people the results they want. But actually, on social media, shock horror, people want to kind of see the real life versions of stuff, don't they?
Yeah, exactly that. And the problem being is that's why content creation comes into it. So there's 2 steps to everyone's social media account. There's the content creation. So whether it's a little video, whether it's some photos, whether it's a quote, testimonial, so it's been created on something like Canva. and they're all the branding's on there. However, there's then the flip side of it, of actually managing that through social media. So not posting 10 things in a day and then not posting ever again. Getting excited that we've got all these videos, so we're just going to fire them out and then leave it 2 months and not post anything. Talking about Christmas in October. So as soon as Halloween's gone, you start talking about Christmas. So it's that timing it right and offers and managing it. And that's where social media is worth their weight in gold to do that. But they need that content creation to make the account look good.
Yeah, because it's all good having that strategy and that kind of future planning. But also what comes with that is, right, I need 3 images that are going to show us what the Christmas menu are.
Yeah.
And then once you've got those images, you can schedule it and you can have that plan in place to start promoting what it is that we're selling, whether it's a restaurant menu or whether it's a product that's been put up for sale for that Christmas period.
And people buy with their eyes at the end of the day. If you think about your social media profile, for example, and your friends' social media profiles, you will not see their name pop up. You will notice their profile picture. So say, for example, mine's me with white background. When I've changed my profile picture, people don't realise it's you posting. Mm-hmm. And it's the same with all your imagery, all your video. It's getting that brand consistency. And that's where a content creator comes into their own. To any video that goes up, it might be a certain filter. It might be that your logo pop up or a certain text font. All of that branding then goes for it. So you know straight away, without reading it or looking at who's posted, who the information is from.
Yeah, and I think like you said, it's important that there is a balance and there's a partnership between the content creator and whoever's doing the social media management. And sometimes they get assumed that they're the same thing, and people will sometimes try and do everything, and some people are good at being able to do that. But it is that balance of having the two heads, like having that longer plan, but then also the eye for detail, the ability to capture the things that perhaps might get missed otherwise. For example, if we're recording a video, instead of it just being a video that's a wide angle shot or an image of a wide angle shot of a product, perhaps we need some close-ups, perhaps we need some action. So if it's I'm going to use something perhaps the Charlie might use from Cox's Boxes. If it was an orange, maybe having the orange being sliced open instead of it just being an orange just sitting there. Yeah. So it's just being able to have those kind of different ideas and getting, as you say, creative with it.
Yeah, and I think that's where we can manage someone's social media really, really well if they're sending us the content. So we will, and this is something I've said through and through and through, no one will be able to manage your social media as well as you can if you know and have the tools and know and understand what to do. So a lot of accounts we manage, the customers will send us the images and send us the videos, and we word them differently or change them, edit them to get them out, to then add in the brand consistency and send them out at the right time. And there's different ways we do that, but we can't do that necessarily. If we do, that is where a content creator would step in, and like Liam says, you'll have the eye for the detail. You'll have all the ideas, and I'm sure all business owners can tell you this. You're like a deer in headlights. You're like, right, I've got a post. What am I going to post about? Well, if you're a product-based business, if you've got 10 products, straight away that's 10 pictures of your products. But that's not just if we take a restaurant, for example. If you've, say, got a picture of a roast dinner, it's a picture of the roast dinner on the table. It's a picture of the roast dinner being delivered to the table. It's from that side. It's from that side. It's with that and the side dishes. There's so many different images you can do from that one thing to then post up, because ultimately the reason they're posting that is to get more bums on seats and more bookings on a Sunday. And we've had this before, where people don't have a picture of the dishes, we can't post, we'll post the picture of the menu, but it's not going to do as well. People buy with their eyes and people buy with pictures and videos. And I mean, you'll know this better than me, but if you're using a little video, say a dish being delivered to the table, that will reach far more people than a picture of a menu or even a picture of the dish.
It's thinking about that outcome as well. How do you want that customer to feel?
Yeah.
Like, they're hopefully thinking about that roast dinner scenario when your content is delivered to them, and how satisfying is it when somebody brings you a fresh roast dinner?
Yeah.
You know, it's piping hot, it looks amazing.
You haven't had a slave in
You haven't had
kitchen
the
2 hours.
to fight the kitchen to get something out that hopefully looks at least half as good as what is being delivered. But yeah, it's also, like I said before, it's making sure it's going to be relative to what they can expect on the day.
Yeah.
I know that a bit of a controversial kind of, maybe not so much controversial, but if you look at any of the adverts for the likes of KFC, McDonald's, when you see their burgers in them adverts, they look phenomenal. They look absolutely phenomenal.
That is not how it arrives on your car.
I have never received a burger that is up to the standard of, like, they're always a bit more squished and, you know, put together in a bit of a hurry. But, you know, the content creator has taken their time to make that product look as good as possible, to make it look appetizing, to entice people into coming in and wanting one of those.
And you're forgiving of, I know it's like the local groups where we live, people are always slating McDonald's for forgetting something from their order or getting the order wrong or it being cold or taking ages, but they still go back again and again.
Yeah.
Like, that brand loyalty is mental. If that was a local restaurant, that's it. They're slated. They're dead to them. That's 1 star on Google, and I'm telling everybody about it.
But if we take that scenario and compare that to the local business, like if we took, you know, one of the signature lines from like the likes of McDonald's, a fast food chain, and we had a comparison to what you get to what was posted. But then also, if we took like a local product, if it was a beautiful candle or if it was some fudge or whatever it happens to be, and if the product looks absolutely stunning, which hopefully it will do, then you want your product to look fairly similar to that.
Yeah.
When
it's got to be true to life at the end of the day.
So like, where some people are coming to you and asking you to just go grab a picture of a roast dinner, it's not going to be quite the same as if you could actually capture the product or service that you're going to be offering. Yeah.
And it's those little bits of, we've spoke to a few people recently with their product suppliers. They've got their product range and they might have, say, candles, a really good example. So it might be a cinnamon candle. Well, that's brilliant. So you've got the picture of the candle, you can see a nice packaging, the branding and everything, but it's where you'll see a different version of that picture. So it might be from slightly above, not covered, but surrounded by things like cinnamon sticks and things that make you feel like that. So if you think of the autumnal pictures you get on social media, where it's a flat lay picture, so from people, it's been shot from above, so it's the product, but it's got pumpkins, cinnamon sticks, and all nice oranges, leaves, etc. So people can feel it, smell it, and see it through the picture, which is doing that adds depth to the picture. It just gives you that slight bit more than just a picture of, here's the candle.
Yeah, and there is space for those clean pictures. You know, if it is that it's on your product page and it's something that you're selling, then you want to show them what they're going to get. Like, they're not going to get all the foliage that comes with it and the pumpkins and everything. It is literally a candle, but you do want to have those product shots, especially for the likes of Instagram, where you're kind of saying, this is how it could look if it was in your house or in your location. So there is as a content creator, you do have a bit of that artistic license to then kind of bring that thing to life.
100%. And you do have the whole, and that's where the social media person steps in. So if you've got a content creator on board who's made all those images, those clips, and then it's like, right, brilliant, we've got 10, 20 clips, images, and different things to create the posts with. So then it's managing that to go, right, okay, we're stepping back from that. So all of this is, and it might be a pumpkin spice candle, for example. You will sell that most throughout October and into November slightly. So what we want to do is the build up of that, of slowly planning, scheduling, and then put in the captions, the caption behind it. Yes, we could sit and I could create you 20 SEO style captions on ChatGPT like that, which is great. But again, it needs your tone behind it, your branding behind it. There's no, a bit like the McDonald's example, there's no use me sitting and talking about a burger and it's actually a McDonald's burger. So we don't want to talk about a nice cut of meat, that it's steak mince, it's juicy, it's got this, it's got that.
It's
so
aged for 21 days and all kinds of...
Because it's a completely different brand.
Yes.
And it's going back, and I always use the Aldi versus Waitrose kind of posts in different brands. It's a completely different tone of voice. You know straight away because you're talking to a completely different target audience. And that's where, yes, we can use ChatGPT, and we do use it for some extent. However, you still need it. You can't cut and paste that out of there. You need it altered so it's you talking. And people know the difference with who is talking on that post as well. But if you've got all of those posts from a content creator, it is a social media manager's dream, because it's then working back, right, we've got your own branded stock images, which is just a game changer. You can schedule that to go out. You're looking at the analytics, you're managing the messages, you're managing the comments, and you're keeping that social media account flowing. So you've always got things going out, and it's consistent as well.
And then you're also looking for trends, right? So I'd imagine, like, if it's a static image, sometimes you put audio to the background. And you spot in the kind of up and coming or the trending audios to try and help promote some of the SEO.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like a content creator might just be like, that looks absolutely amazing, does a little dump, and it's there, and that's not going to perform as well because you're not coming back every single day. And ultimately what the social media platforms want you to do is to come back every single day. So I think that's the difference, and sometimes that's where I struggle, is like I will create stuff and I'll be proud of it, but then I won't have that foresight to future plan it or to stagger it and to create that consistency.
And it's like, dare I say it, reels are dying off now, and I put it somewhere or commented or put something on social media somewhere the other day where it was a case of, you want a reel to go viral and hit 1 million people? Absolutely amazing. I can tell you the exact formula on what to do that. We've never done it because I don't want to do it, because reels that go viral, and again, I think I've said it on another episode, where you attract trolls, you'll get negative comments, you attract people to your account that aren't interested in your account, they're just there for the growth. So unless you're trying to sell how to make 1 million reach reels, you don't want 1 million reach reel. That's not what you want to attract, because it's not your target audience. So very often content creators be like, oh, that's absolutely amazing. Well, it is amazing, but we're not posting that today because it doesn't fit today. And whilst people are getting tired of reels because of things like platforms like TikTok, where people are going through, you think how quickly people go through videos now. There's like seeing them for a millisecond. On the flip side, you've got, because of ChatGPT and AI, you've got a lot of fake videos as well. And it's very, very often or obvious when there's a fake video or it's been set up. People aren't stupid. But that's when you've got carousels. People are on social media to make themselves feel better. It's a distraction from life, and they want to make themselves feel better. So if they can bring that carousel, which is a selection of more than one post, so you're scrolling to go through the different images with some music. So you might have added your trending music as well, which all helps, but also the chat and the caption, because they're more likely to read that. But it tells the algorithm that they've looked at your post for longer than normal. So that's longer than that one post, and longer from skipping to the next reel quite quickly. So there's all of that element behind it. So it's not just, it's trending music, let's do a dance. You can do that, but you'll get people that like your dance. And if you're not a dance school, then why are you dancing?
Why are we dancing? It might be fun in the moment, but is it ultimately you're on social media as a business owner to try and make some more sales,
Yeah.
and to bring some more businesses across. And I think, part of what we're trying to do by creating content for people is to build that element of trust with people, and likability, but also that assurance that you are the right person, and when that person's ready to come and buy, that you're the person that they're going to be recommending or going to make that purchase for.
Exactly that.
And I think that, we've both noticed some ChatGPT or some AI things, and it's a bit like when before Instagram started to put adverts out onto the platform, and people are just very aware of that now. Especially in that short form. If you're scrolling through, it's quite clear when an advert has come up, and it's a bit of a shame, really, because obviously somebody's put a lot of money and hard work into trying to sell you something. But I think you can go too far as well. I think like some people want it too polished. Whereas actually being real is quite an advantage.
Well, you need to keep it up as well.
Yeah.
So it's like if that's the standard of posts you're putting out, you need to keep that standard.
Yeah.
And that's because people will notice, and it will be subtle changes, and all of a sudden it's quite a raw and different video. It's like, but it was polished. Like it was up here. What's going on? And then it's that straight away distrust.
Yeah.
Well, what's right? What should it look like? What are you? Are you here or are you you?
Yeah.
And
And it's not to say that you can't have like some types of content that is slightly higher, but just knowing your level. Like for example, if we're thinking about the restaurant, are you going to consistently get a professional photographer to come in and take photos of some staged models receiving their food and things like that? Or are you more of an on-the-fly person, and are you able to capture just some little shots of the restaurant being fully booked, or before service where the chef has produced the food, just some snaps of the plates, obviously doing a little bit more than just doing it ad hoc and point and shoot, like thinking about how you can style it to make it look its best. But
exactly that.
But if you are going to go for that more polished kind of end product, like you said, consistency, are you going to target to do that all the time, or is that going to slowly fall off? Because your reputation is going to change.
Exactly that. And I think it's the same reason as why some people like it and some people don't, and the right and wrong is it's what suits you. So it suits us to have my face all over the business. It might not suit, and I've had loads of people come in and go, that doesn't sit right with me, I don't want to do it. That's absolutely fine. So we use the products, or we use the service, or we can talk in different ways. And like you said earlier, you're selling that emotion, you're selling that feeling. So if you can and you're happy to use your face and talk about yourself, brilliant, do it, because it does 100% build that trust. It doesn't have to be all about the product. It can be about you and what you do, but it completely depends on what your business is and how you are as a person.
I think as well, if you are like quite a big part of your business as well, it's your unfair advantage. Would you say that's fair? Like people will then have that relationship with you, and when you've done some work with people, or when you know people, then they're going to recognize you and hopefully be supportive and come and like spend a bit of time, add in some likes and some comments to your posts, and then that will also help the actual it will help when the platforms are kind of reviewing your content to say, did this person like it? Okay, brilliant, we'll show it to 5 more people to see if they like it.
100%. And I think it's just then people are invested in you. They want to support it. They feel like they're a part of it. Everyone wants to be part of a community, and it makes them feel safe. They feel like people have their back, and it's just a really nice place to be, that you can relate to that business and you can talk because you feel like a valued customer. And it's the same with, it goes into that customer service element, where a social media manager will go as far as the customer service. It's replying to every message, it's liking every comment, it's replying to the comments, it's managing all of that. So it's all together as one big package. So from the content creator taking that picture or video to the social media manager replying to that message, to what actually happens in real life, it's that complete consistency of making sure that that will work, and that's what people see, and that's on brand. And more so when we've had people in, whether it's for the Canva course or one-to-one social media, the branding is so important because you get that consistency and people know what to expect and they know what they're going to get. And you need to be as clear as possible on what you do. You know what you do. You know through and through, but no one else does. And if they haven't seen or followed you, which sort of every post needs to have something which says that what you do, who you are.
Yep.
So they can tell straight away on every single post, just it's you and a bit about your business. There's no point in me sharing a funny doc video on Breakout. It's completely irrelevant, and it's as much as we obviously love a dog in for Descire, but it's not what we do. It's not what you sell into. It's not what we're selling and why you buy into us.
Fun for us to capture.
It is very fun for us to capture.
Another thing is we could put you on a roller coaster with a milkshake and see what happens. That would be really funny.
Yeah, and that would go viral.
But it's not going to put bums on seats in the co-working space, is it?
No,
So
exactly. And that's the important thing or everything we've done on our own account is through organic growth. So we steadily grow. Our account is always growing and we steadily grow. But I can go through my followers, and I bet you a huge percentage of them, I can tell you who they are, how they came in, have they from just messaging us to ask us a question to actually come in and we work with them. They're a client, and we don't share that information. And that's where we struggle sometimes as content creators, because I don't go, oh, hi, this is Liam and I do Liam's bookkeeping, because that's not for me to share. As far as I'm concerned, that's confidential information. So I don't share that information.
Professional relationship,
yeah,
isn't it? Yeah,
exactly that. I think the most important thing is that sometimes I think the lines get blurred.
Yeah.
If you're a social media manager for a small business, because some businesses where they don't give us content, we either have to find it ourselves or create it ourselves, and that's when it goes into content creation.
Yeah.
Because that could be anything from photography to blogging, captions, copywriting. It's all
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, it's quite a big umbrella of everything. So I think but a content creator will always make sure that that's original content. So everything you do will always be original. You're not just copying it or duplicating it from somewhere else. And you're looking to tell that story and find the information behind that story to be consistent with that.
Yeah.
And that's when, on the flip side, like for a social media manager, people are like, well, how often should I post? I'm like, when you've got content. If you try and force daily content out, it's not going to work. Because it is forced, it will feel forced, and you'll put stuff out for the sake of putting stuff out. It's not worth doing at all. And the biggest thing for social media management is to make sure that it's consistent, and you're making sure that all of that consistency and all those social media posts are consistently going out telling that same story and supporting the story and supporting the content creators' work as well.
I think you're spot on, and I think exactly what you said there about not forcing it. I think if you start to force it, then you're going to start to feel a bit awkward. You're going to start to feel a bit like it's a hassle.
Yeah.
It might stress you out a bit, dare I say it.
Yeah.
And then people are going to see that.
Yeah. 100%.
Like people are going to see that in the results of the things that you're putting out there. So take your time with it. Come up with a plan, with a strategy, with a social media manager or somebody who's doing kind of the whole thing, helping you in that process. Work out what's achievable, what's realistic.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think it's important to note that we don't always want to do everyone's social media, because sometimes you're so much better at it. However, we are always here to guide. And it's same kind of speaking for you as well. It's like content creation. Liam can give you ideas and a different perspective. And I think that's the biggest thing for small businesses. They sometimes need that little advice or little help to go, have you thought of doing it this way? Or have you looked at it from, and we give that customer perspective where it's like that, the customer doesn't see that, and we can easily look for accounts and go, you haven't actually told us such and such. Well, that's really obvious. It's not really obvious in this day and age when people are consuming so much information constantly on social media that it isn't that obvious. You have to keep reiterating the same thing, but just very similar ways. And I think that's what's important. And this is why we do so many training courses on social media to teach people how to do it. We can do it for people, and that's absolutely fine. But we do have to work as a team to do that, and you work together to do that, which is really important.
Yeah, 100%.
Is that fair?
I think that's a good breakdown of the difference between the two. Like, obviously they're very close, and if you can have people with that skill set and strength on both sides to help boost your social media in that way.
I think that's the strengths is the most important word there, because in your own business you will have certain strengths. We have businesses where they don't like social media, they don't want to be on there, however they are because they feel they have to be. Well, we do that for them. So our clients that feel like that, we will do all of that for them, because then they don't have that ick and it's just rolling out there about them. And we see it from the customer side as well. Whereas on the flip side, people that are quite happy to do it, they'll come in here, they'll spend an hour with us, or they'll sit and do their social media while they sit here and just go, what about this? What do you think about that? And we just train and guide to make sure they do what suits their business. And that's the important thing. It's everyone's so different. You have to do what suits your business. It's not copying someone else down the road.
No one size fits all. It's all individual. And some people might need a course on Canva to show them how to layer some of the images and things. Other people might need that hand-holding.
Yeah, and that's why we did the ChatGPT course the other day. It was literally just like, you can use it to create prompts, to create ideas, but don't cut and paste whole elements of it, because people can look at it now and go, oh, that's not actually them. They're just cutting and pasting.
Absolutely. Awesome.
So if you're interested, obviously Liam does a lot of content creation under Record and Repurpose.
Hello.
And we do the training courses and other bits and pieces in terms of whether it's using Canva, ChatGPT. We work with a few photographers if there's ever any professional photography that needs doing. So whatever it is, whatever you're stuck on, always feel free to send a message to us. And if there's someone who is stuck on social media or not sure what to do, or it's creating a headache for them, please share this episode with them, and like and subscribe as always, and leave us a review. But thanks for listening.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode. We really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please share with a friend who you think needs a bit of help with starting a business, or even their small business which they've already got going. Please like and subscribe to our podcast, which always helps a small business or small podcast like us. And check the show notes. We all have everything in there relating to the episode which you might need, might want to read, and links to anyone we've interviewed and certain subjects we've spoken about. And thanks for listening.